first thing we want to do in this video is to start using the menu here. So let's go ahead and import this class inside our navbar. And in here you can see we can then set the location, and if we go into wire content / admin, in here you can then see we have menus, and we can then say in this case that this is home. Let's say about, and let's call this primary instead, because this is going to be the one here. So let's add in a home link. And again, we will focus on making the links work later on. For now, it's just important to make sure that we can at least go in here. So this is the primary one, and then let's take a look in here. So we want to create a mount function, or we can add it inside our rendering function here. So let's go ahead and just copy and paste this. And then let's go into our view here and call this menus. And then all we have to do is just go through them here, and let's do this inside our navbar. And let's just do it anywhere for now, just to see that it works. Let's just call it menu instead, because we only have one menu. Let's take a look at the database as well and see what's going on. So inside our plugin, we also need to make sure we add a location in here. So we want to go into our admin panel provider. And in here, let's go ahead and make sure we add a location in here. And let's call this header for now. You can see we now have this one here, and let's assign it. Let's go in and see what happens now. In the database, we now have a header, so location should be header instead. And there we go. So we have home and about. And what we can go ahead and do now as well is, in this case, we can, for this use case, we can go ahead and say location, and we can call this dropdown. Dropdown, and this is going to be the dropdown which is going to require you to be authenticated. So for that, we can essentially go ahead and say, new duplicate line here, and let's say dropdown. Dropdown. Let's go ahead and for dropdown, we need to create a new one here. So let's go ahead and add a new menu. And in here, let's call this dropdown. This is required when you're logged in. And in this case, inside dropdown, we could, for example, go ahead and say we have manage account, which with Breeze and Jetstream normally goes to /profile. We could add that as a menu. Make sure that we assign this to drop down here, and now we're able to essentially retrieve that data as well and iterate through it inside our PHP-Storm editor. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go in here instead. Let's go in and essentially make sure we copy and paste this part in. And for now, let's copy and paste the HIF. For now, we will leave out the icons. We can go ahead and figure out how we can add that later on though. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these as well here. And then we just have to draw down here. But we also want to go ahead and make sure we do something. We will again leave out the icon for now, so let's make sure we copy the URL. And this should just be link in this case. And it should automatically apply while I navigate. In this case, we just need to say item, and I think we call it in here title. Let's go ahead and make sure we have the same title here. Then let's go ahead and make sure inside our menu here that for the non-drop-down part in here, we want to go ahead and make sure that we say home. And the same here. Just like that. And let's go ahead and open inspector element, and let's take a look at how it looks when we're using the drawer. And again, this will give a 404 because none of these exist links wise, but again, we can go ahead and make sure that this just goes to slash, and this one could just be called articles instead, as we called it before, and slash articles. And that's actually everything for this video. In the next video, we're going to start working on adding in icons and working on the drop down functionality. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.